nothing changes. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Today's Saturday, August 29th, 2020. Excuse the background that I have going on here. I did set up some lights in the camera, but this is kind of going to be an informal video. This is just going to be me talking to you guys, talking to the camera, and to everyone who's watching. And I don't want this video to turn into anything political or racial or anything else, controversial. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video, which you guys may have read the title and wondered, what is this about, is that entrepreneurship makes everybody equal. And let me explain to you what I mean by that, because a lot of people from that one title in one sentence may be rolling their eyes or maybe saying, yeah, right, what are you talking about? And so that's what I want to get into. And I hope that this video gives you guys a renewed sense of motivation and inspiration about your entrepreneurship, about your business and your life, and about exactly what this title means and what this video is trying to say. And I hope that afterwards, down in the comment section, we can have a positive dialogue, a respectful dialogue, not just with me, but with the other members of this community who are certainly going to be a part of that conversation down below. So let me explain to you what I mean by this title and what this video is about. And then I ask that you guys give me your feedback, your honest, respectful feedback down below. So I was reading a forum board. It's not one of my viewers. It's nobody that I even know who they are. And I didn't know the exact age, but it came across as a young, if I had to guess, 16 to 18-year-old, maybe 19, maybe somebody who's graduating high school or just getting into college. And he was a young African-American male who was interested in starting his own business, or maybe he had already started his own business. It wasn't real clear. This is something I saw on Reddit, mind you. And he put out a question to the community. It's an entrepreneurship thread that I read that said, he talked about his want to be a business owner and to make his own money and not have a job, but he was scared that he could never be successful in 2020 or going forward because he's an African American. And that was the post that he put up to the community. And he asked, do you guys think that it's smart or that I have a real chance at succeeding because I'm African American, because of the way that the world works to this day? And so I read that and I thought, man, when I started as an entrepreneur 13 or 14 years ago, this discussion, and perhaps it was going on, but obviously not to the extent that it goes on in today's world in 2020, I thought, it's hard enough to be a business owner. I think everybody watching this video can agree that being an entrepreneur, starting your own company, running the show is hard enough. It's really, really, really difficult. A lot of people quit. A lot of people give up. And this has nothing to do with race or gender or anything else. It's just really hard to make it, no matter who you are, right? And I think we can all hands up agree that that's a fact, that it's really, really difficult to successfully operate and navigate our way through the business world. And so when I was thinking about that, I thought back to a younger me, to a 21, 22-year-old me, 13, 14 years ago, where I sat down and realized I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want somebody else to make the paycheck or to decide how much money I'm allowed to make. What is my cap? What am I worth? I want to decide what I'm worth. And excuse me if you see me looking down, I did make some notes for this so that I didn't leave anything out. When you work for somebody else, the playing field is not equal. It's not fair because they get to make all the money and you just get to work for it. And yeah, there's a lot of sales guys and, they make commissions and bonuses and they can make a lot more money than somebody else. And that's based off of their hustle and their drive and their work ethic. But at the end of the day, the CEO and the owner still get to decide how much money you make. And that's hard enough and that's bad. And that's why I wanted to be my own boss and own entrepreneur. But I started thinking about that. And when I thought back to those years of my concern was, man, I don't want anybody deciding how much money I make based on simply they just want to decide that they want to make more money. What would it be like if I was a woman or if I was an African American or maybe an Asian or an immigrant? All these people who not only worked as an employee and had to work for whatever amount of money was deemed necessary for them to make or worthy of them to make because they're an employee, but also based on another factor that was beyond their control because of how they were born, right? Women's equal pay in this world is a very big topic. We saw it with the national soccer team where they don't make as much money as men and they're doing the same job and they're bringing in merchandise and fans and etc. And I started thinking, like they have an outside topic, an outside variable that also influences how much money they make or how successful they are. And I started thinking about that, and I think I came up with something that really spells this out and hopefully will clarify it for a lot more of you as to why being a business owner and entrepreneur is so important. So let me make this point as clearly and as smoothly possible that I can. So a lot of things in this world are not fair. They're not the way they should be. They don't work equally. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have the same opportunity as every other entrepreneur. Now, let me preface that by saying there are certainly people who start a business with money their family left them, or they inherited, or maybe they won the lottery. There are people that get advantages, and that's just kind of a part of life that we, those are the exceptions that we kind of push to the side because they didn't start from scratch, right? But when you start from scratch, when you start from nothing as an entrepreneur, there is nobody telling you how much money you can make based on your race or your gender or your sexual preference or your age or the color of your skin or the color of your clothes or the color of your eyes or anything else. You get to decide how much money you make, who you do business with, who you don't do business with, and how you operate your business. Let's take a good example. I mean, I look up to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of billionaires and successful people who have inspired me over the years. A lot of them started from nothing. And I made a little list of this, and I'm gonna tell you guys, these are some of the people that I really have learned from in the last 5 to 10 years. Damian John on Shark Tank. I'm a huge fan of Shark Tank. Damian John, if you're not familiar with who he is, go watch Shark Tank, look him up. He's kind of the shorter guy. I think he's bald. Is he completely bald? He started FUBU, and of course he's African American. He started FUBU with no money, from nothing in New York City to a mother who worked like 4 jobs to support him. And he grew it into a multi-billion-dollar business. He had everything against him. He was growing up in a rough part of New York when it was drug infested. He says it on the show. Those were the years that New York was overran by drugs. I mean, similar to like the Jay-Z story, who also happens to be a billionaire now. Damon had everything against him. The color of his skin, where he grew up, no father in the house, no money, no nothing. And he was able to do what he did. Oprah as well grew up very, very poor and is a billionaire now. We look at somebody like an Elon Musk who grew up to parents from Canada and South Africa, who was an immigrant, who had no money, who had nothing. And now Elon's worth like $80 billion. We look at our own Omar, Pierre Omidyar, who is the founder of eBay and a billionaire. He was born to Iranian parents who immigrated to France, Middle Eastern parents in Europe during the 1970s and 80s, moving into the 90s, here in eBay when he started eBay. That was everything against him. Everything. Middle Eastern people were not well liked, especially, not just inside their own country, but as they moved out into France, and Europeans looked at them very badly, and Americans looked at them very badly. You think back to the early 90s and the 80s when Americans had, Iraq and Iran, when all that started. That was not an easy thing for him to do with no money and immigrant parents coming to America, immigrating to France and then moving to America and having nothing. He built a $1 billion empire. And then we take somebody like Michael Jordan, who obviously worked a job, made millions of dollars doing it, and turned it into a $1 billion empire later. He started with nothing. His family was not wealthy when he started playing basketball, but he not only took a passion that he could make money at a job, but he turned it into a business, a multi-billion dollar business that he is now worth like $2 billion or $3 billion. So there are people that have nothing and have everything working against them, their race or their age or their ethnicity or where they come from or whatever it is, who have built a life and an empire because they became entrepreneurs and they refused to work for anyone else or follow anyone else's rules because they made the rules, they made the business, and that's how they made their life better. And that's the truly great thing about being an entrepreneur and a business owner. Regardless of your upbringing or your background or your age or race or sex or gender or sexual preference or whatever it is, you can be successful. People don't go to eBay and buy things knowing how old you are or what you believe in or who you voted for or what the color of your skin is or where you came from. They don't care. They buy a product or a service based on your quality and your customer service and your price. It has nothing to do with anything else. Now, I'm not saying you should sit behind a computer and hide who you are or what you are or where you came from or what you believe based on your business. But what I am telling you is legitimate business people, I know there's always people that are dum-dums, but legitimate business people will always do business with you no matter what you look like or what you believe in or what you've done. They will do business with you because of the quality of your business, the quality of your company, and nothing else. I don't go through eBay or Amazon and try to figure out who I'm doing business with. I don't even have a way to know who I'm doing business with unless they put a picture up there and tell me, which is their choice. But even that I hardly even look at. And if I do, it doesn't change what I'm going to buy or what I'm going to sell to them or who I'm going to do business with or who I'm going to do a coaching call with. When I sign you guys up for coaching through this channel, I have no idea who you are. You click a link, you buy a program, and a week later, I dial you up on a video call and you and I are now face to face. And some of you are old and some of you are young. I've done calls with teenagers. I've done calls with 60 and 70-year-old retirees. I've done calls with men, with women. I've done calls with white people and black people and Asian people and Spanish people. I've done calls with gay couples, and I've done calls with everybody under the sun, married couples, men, women, children. It doesn't matter. I have no idea who you are. And all I care about is that you want to be an entrepreneur and that you want to run your own business. And what can we do to be successful together? And I think the point that I really want to wrap everyone's head around is entrepreneurship allows all of us to not only be successful and create our own path. Entrepreneurship allows all of us who have that same desire and wish to work with everyone else who has that same desire and wish, to work with everyone who doesn't want to be an employee and doesn't want to live that life and wants to make our own rules and our own futures. We can all work together because we share that one goal of being successful. And I hope that all of you that have that desire or wish or already are entrepreneurs continue with that, because the more of us that there are, the more of you that there are, the better this world will be. Let's just all work together and be successful. And the way that I find working together and being successful the easiest is being an entrepreneur, helping you that want to be the same and working around a community that is that way. So I hope that this video doesn't come off in any way bad to anyone. It's not the point of it. The point of the video is to tell you guys that if you want to be a business owner and work for yourself and make money and be successful, I am behind you 100%. I will help you. I'll do anything I can to be a part of that. And hopefully you can, reciprocate that to myself and everyone else that's a part of this community, no matter where you came from or what you look like and what you believe in. The only thing I care about is let's work on business and keep moving forward, because business owners and entrepreneurs make the world a better place and they make the people in this world better. All right, so hopefully I covered everything. I wish you guys the best 2020. Let's make the end of 2020 so much better than the beginning of 2020. It's been a train wreck, and hopefully things improve. I love all of you guys. I appreciate all of you that watch this channel, and if you have something you want to say that's respectful, just put it down below. I'll read it. I'll respond to as many as I humanly possibly can. And of course, there'll be other folks that will be responding to as well. Please be respectful to those folks, and vice versa if you're responding to someone else's comment that's not me. Go out there and kill it, you guys. Do the best that you can, no matter your situation, no matter your finances, no matter anything else. Just do you and do the best that you possibly can. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll have another video out tomorrow night. Pretty important video, actually. So make sure you tune in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and hit this like button if this video helped you out and gave you a little motivation. And to the young man, if he happens to see this video from Reddit, don't be scared to be an entrepreneur because of any factor in your life, especially not what you look like or what color skin you have or what gender or race or anything else that you are. Go be that entrepreneur. I hope that you watch this or that somebody that's seen that will link this and he won't be scared to go kill it, make some money, and be the next Damian John or the next Elon or the next Michael Jordan. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.